Peace. You coming with the Completist? Me and my brother, we was just chopping it, man. How y'all doing tonight? It's been a minute. It's been a minute, but me and my brother was
It's
just
been a nice
chopping it
minute.
about, man. We was really talking about writers and comics, comic book writers, manga writers. You know what I'm saying? Even from any medium that you can really think of that has to do with writing, and how basically some titles they get clusterfuck, you know what I'm saying, they get all convoluted because a lot of writers be taking on different projects. And my brother was just saying that artists like Oda and One Piece is so successful because he mainly focuses on One Piece. And a lot of writers today we like write Kirkman and his Invincible universe and his Walking Dead and things of that nature. He really pointed out the fact that he just seemed tired. And if you actually go back and read towards the end of those
Runs,
stories,
series,
it does seem a little
it reflects.
laggish. You know what I'm
It
saying? Yeah,
reflects.
it
Yeah.
definitely seemed like he was tired of it and just wanted it to be over. You know,
hmm
and
Not
and
so
that
much as
that, that
rough,
is
just so
interesting.
much as bored with it.
Yeah,
Like I mean,
yeah, yeah. Just wanted it to be over. Shit.
look at all the successful storylines where they had those long runs before they like, okay, we're gonna cut it off and then we're gonna just do a whole new writer. Like all the Stan Lee Marvel stuff, when you think about it, all the Stan Lee Marvel stuff that Stan Lee wrote, it's like, oh, this all is so good. But when Stan Lee got bored with it and wanted to do something else, they was like, all right, cool, we done. He ain't doing Thor no more. We're gonna completely stop Thor and start it over and give it to somebody else.
Right.
Because and I think that's where they be messing up with these stories now. It's like, okay, we got Batman all the way here. Now here go Batman issue 50, and now we about to change writer. So now they counting on this writer to pick up where this writer left off at and
Right.
keep that same energy and keep you just as entertained as you was over here. And it's like, well, this sucks. Prime
Yeah,
example
that's
of
not
that
how it
was
works.
the Batman run with Tom King. Tom King's Batman run, nobody was like, this is amazing, blah, blah, blah. That jump was mixed feelings the entire run. People like, I hate it. People like, I love it. Then all of a sudden it was like, boom, Tom King is off of it. Now here we go with James Tynion. And then what happened with that? It was like, oh, this dude is worse than Tom King. And I'm like, hold
Yeah.
on, now this is all right. You know, it was like, this ain't so bad. But then I started seeing it, and I'm like, hold on. Like this don't come on now. And
Yeah.
they keep doing that. Like I was just saying, Ram V, excellent writer. But when you look at his stuff, like when you look at all he did with his miniseries, it's like he catered and liked the miniseries way more. That Swamp Thing miniseries was what, like 12, limited series was like 12 books, I think, 12 to 16 books.
Something like that.
Phenomenal, issue by issue. You know what I'm saying? His Carnage, issue by issue, phenomenal. They put him on some ongoing stuff, and it's like, dude, this is boring. And I think he's on Detective Comics right now. And I was like, or he was, but it was like, this was boring. You know, and I get what style he wanted to go for, but his style didn't fit what he wanted to do with Batman.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Because we don't want is Batman. I get Batman how big he is, and we don't view Batman in this light. But it's like you also getting to a point to where now you got this good writer on this ancient character where Batman is basically set in stone. Batman is Batman. We know how he is at this point. Every Batman fan, every reader, period. And it's gonna be hard for you to write Batman and tell us a compelling story that hasn't already been told. Because and then to some degree, y'all gonna recycle the same stories with Batman because fans are only interested in a select few of his rogue gallery. You know, not everybody can be me. Not everybody gonna be like, dang, I ain't seen Mad Hatter in like years. You know what I'm saying? Like, damn, is Calendar Man even decent enough to be put in a book? You know what I'm saying?
They always showing my nigga Calendar Man as like a comic relief in the back somewhere. He like he lost it to somebody else's title. Like it's always
like,
they be
damn,
disrespecting my man.
Dude, is Clayface and Killer Croc not eligible for like long runs? Like, do we always got to do Joker, Scarecrow, Bane, Penguin, Two-Face? Do we got to keep using the same people? That's why I was excited when they did the Detective Comics. It was like, yeah, Mr. Freeze. I was like, ooh, we get the Mr. Freeze story.
So what you think, man? Because remember, I said like a year or two ago. Matter of fact, we both said it. You know what I'm saying? We both said to give these
I don't.
OG characters, man. These OG characters need to get a reins up, man. They need to, because it just seemed like all the OG characters, bro, they've been written and shit for so long, bro. It's like they can't create
It's.
really nothing,
I think.
nothing better.
I think in this modern era, in this modern time, I'm not gonna say take a manga approach because mangas are broken up into multiple chapters. I'm
Right.
gonna say do it in a mini series format or a limited series format. I think with how readers are today, I think books coming out and the series being 1 to 6 books or 1 to 12 books is like the perfect point to get to it because now you have to get to it because you're
Yeah.
limited. You
Yeah.
have that's it's no different than a TV show and they say, well, your show is only gonna run for 30 minutes. So you already know that with 30 minutes, I can only give you 15 minutes of the story and some build up before I give you 15 minutes of all the meat and the grit that you want and that you need because I only got 30 minutes to put it in there.
Yeah.
So I'm not gonna give you 25 minutes of all this slow bull stuff because that's gonna turn you off and you're probably not gonna come back to my show.
Yeah.
Versus
It put a
a
little
six
fire
a,
under their ass.
yeah, it definitely likes that fire because you got to get it in. You got to get it out there now. Tom Taylor's which one was it? The dark one where the power went out with the one we was talking about for a while last year. Where what's his name? The Unmaker made his first appearance. That 6 book miniseries was phenomenal because he had to get there. So from book 1, it was like boom. It was like, oh, this is fire. Then it was like book 2 hit a twist. It was like, oh, this is getting good. Then it kept going. It was like, but he had to do that because there's only 6 books. That story could not have continued any other kind of way. And a lot of people was like, dang, I wanted more of this story. But me personally, in my head, I'm like, ain't no way this story would have lasted doing it at 30 books.
Right.
That's why I was fed up with Marvel Zombies. Marvel Zombies, that first series, them 6 books, phenomenal. But I was like, man, y'all keep wanting this back, and now y'all doing the Marvel Zombies 2, 3, and all this and other, which were some of those were also decent. But it's like
And
when you look at it, if that was an ongoing continuation, it wouldn't have done it so well.
What's the name? And it's funny. It's funny the way that you describing it. And we've been advocating and we've been trying to get people, to get on Image Comics, for a minute. And it's funny that we talking about this now because Image Comics does exactly what we talking about right now. Like their should be limited, you feel me? And like they will put out like 12 books, wait a year, or 6 months, to come out with the next chapter. That's what they've been doing that's what they did with Wanted. That's what they did with Radiant Black.
The thing
Nemesis.
Is, you got to look at the character base with Marvel DC where they're doing these ongoing stories and is drawing it out and is getting boring. Versus with other companies like Image, Dark Horse, and stuff, there is always going to be something you can do with Hellboy because he's fighting against the paranormal.
Yeah.
There's going to always be something you can do with Spawn because he's fighting against basically the supernatural, which is always undead or coming back to life. There's always going to be something that you can be able to, or you can write with Savage Dragon because he's a damn cop.
They just be adding. They be adding tie-ins and shit and fillers and shit like that should be fucking mattering.
And it shouldn't matter because like the one that just came out with the Carnage Reigns, that little mini series, they had those tie-ins with like the Red Goblin, Miles Morales, and all this, and it was like, why y'all just didn't do the whole thing in the Miles Morales story? If y'all really want to try and make Carnage more of a Miles Morales villain, then why y'all just didn't put it all in there? And I get that they trying to make money, so they like, oh, buy that book too. But it's like, bro, y'all put it in a book that I absolutely have no interest in. It was like, oh, I want to continue, this Carnage Reigns, but I have no interest in Red Goblin and what he got to do with this.
Right, like and and I also want to make it clear.
If you're gonna drop a tie-in, at least put it in a book that I'm gonna be interested in.
And that goes back to what we was talking about how Marvel and DC, they not only focus on the main cash cows, but they also give us shit that we don't ask for,
Mm-hmm.
like a lot of stuff that we don't ask for, and then they make it
DC
in abundance, and it never gets bought. Like, who asked for this?
never.
Nobody asked.
It should just be sitting on the shelf.
Right? Like, who asked for
Everybody be
this?
trying to. Everybody be trying to come at me like, "Oh, well, you a DC fanboy." I absolutely, positively, 100% am. I do prefer DC over Marvel all day, every day, and I'll take it to my grave out down this hill. But they need to
Right? I
stop.
mean,
They need to just stop. I don't want y'all to keep giving me the multiverse and then destroying it and then recreating this shit. We just did that.
yeah,
Now y'all
this
doing it
is
again, and
annoying.
y'all gonna keep doing it. And it's like, bruh, is Lex a good guy or a villain? Do we even know? Do we even care anymore? Like,
No,
what
we
is
don't even care no more, dog. This
like
nigga just
is
did. They
Joker
did a whole year of the villain shit with this nigga being
is
Apex Lex.
Joker a villain or an anti-hero? Like, do we even care anymore? Like, really? Like, I don't care no more. And because I
I
don't
don't.
care no more, it's like I don't even want to read this. Because my mind is Joker is a villain, and y'all keep writing him, and it's like, well, I feel like y'all writing him wrong, or y'all presenting him wrong, but y'all keep redoing it and recycling it. It's like, I don't want this recycled shit.
And I want
And it's the
people
same
to
thing with
understand.
Marvel.
I want people to
Same
understand.
thing with
We
Marvel.
watch this shit. We read this shit. We still gonna read this shit. But we speaking honestly because of the simple fact that we have been reading this shit for years. And
Mm-hmm.
we tired, man. We tired of seeing the same shit.
I'm like,
Now,
bro,
for all my, go ahead.
y'all gave us a Joker. Y'all gave us Joker, and they done did so much different shit with Joker. I don't even know where the hell to begin with. But y'all did
Man,
that, and it was like, this is cool. Same with Harley Quinn. All right, it's cool. Nightwing, all right, cool. Nightwing was back. Sean Taylor, it was phenomenal. But it was like through all that mist, it was like we ain't got a Green Lantern book. We ain't got an Aquaman book. It was like we just did New 52, and now we doing Dawn of DC all over again. It's like, come on, man.
it's crazy because my favorite
We just did
writer,
Rebirth.
in DC right now is Tom Taylor. He's one of them. You know what I'm saying? But he's definitely been like my favorite in the last like couple years. And when it comes, and he's doing Nightwing, and he does the night of Steel or whatever that shit is called. You know what I'm
Dark
saying?
Knights
Like
of Steel, and he's doing
yeah, Dark
Titans
Knights
right
of
now.
Steel, yeah, and those is great reads. You know what I'm saying? But the thing about the Dark Knight of Steel, that's not canon. But then
But
you
it's
got
amazing.
Nightwing, but it's
But
amazing.
Nightwing was like this. Nightwing was like, ugh. But now it's like this. And I think it's
Because he
like
really he kind of
he's been
dealing with the
doing it too
same
long.
shit that and he kind of been dealing with the same shit that Bruce is dealing with. He just dealing with newer villains. You know what I'm saying? That we don't really see a lot. You know what I'm saying?
They
But
not
it's still
newer
the same
villains.
thing.
They the C-listers and D-list
Some of them,
villains
yeah, some of them, yeah, new
that they
to
don't want to put in Batman books, so they threw them over there. Like, oh,
right,
we
Bloodhaven.
too low budget for Gotham, so we're gonna go to Bloodhaven. You know, it's like, okay, cool. But it's like
Bendix.
Marvel do it. Marvel's doing it. Marvel's doing it.
Oh yeah,
Marvel did that mini series about Namor, and it was like, who asked for this? Oh, it's the end. Marvel, DC did New 52, Rebirth, and then we're doing Dawn. They didn't kept revamping it. So DC's thing is we just gonna keep redoing the multiverse. Marvel's thing is end of the world.
right.
End of the world. The world ended. This is a scenario where the world ended. We got Age of
Or
Ultron. The
or
world is
some
already the
or
world is already
somebody a part
ended.
of the Avengers gonna die.
The world ended. Doctor Doom is God. The world ended. Ultron is Almighty. The world ended. Thanos won. The world ended. Namor is the God. It's like they keep doing that. And it's like,
Deadpool.
bro, Deadpool killed everybody. The world ended. The world has to end. The world ended. Everybody is zombie. You know what I'm saying? It's like,
So what do you think? Do you think that the company actually asked for the writers to do it like this, or do you think that this is from the actual creativity of the actual writer?
I think it's a group of people that come. They sit in the room and come up with creative stuff, and they come out with it, and then they give those pitches to the company, and then the company pitches it to the writer. I think it's a chain of command. To be honest with you,
Mm.
I think it's an
I
honest
definitely think
chain
the
of command.
office be tampering with the shit, interfering.
And the reason I believe it's a chain of command is because they don't have that same freedom that they have in Dark Horse, or Image, where it's independent. They got total control over the things that they write and the things that they do with their own material and their own books. Because Todd McFarlane is like, I like this. This is what you want to do. Bring it to me, and then I'll let you know from here. And then after they do that, it's like, oh yeah, this is good. Go ahead. Because Brian got complete control over Saga.
Mm-hmm.
Complete control over Saga. And every time, prime example of him as a writer, every time he get tired, every time he get bored, what happens with Saga?
Hiatus.
Every time. It's never rushed. It's never rushed. It's never
and
dull. It's never
but that's what I'm
dry.
saying. But that's what everything with Image, dog. Like every one of their stories, like if we think about it, every one of their stories that they've given us, you know what I'm saying, over the years, you feel me? Like in the last 20.
Look at Spawn. When McFarlane stepped down from writing Spawn and wanted to find him a new writer from Spawn, what happened with Spawn? Hiatus.
Yeah.
There was not a Spawn book being printed or put out until he found a new writer that was going to take that spot, and until he found somebody to continue the story to his liking.
Yeah, that he felt comfortable with.
And that he felt comfortable with. And what did he do until then? He was like, you know what? I still ain't found nobody. All right, Gunslinger. Still ain't found nobody. All right, Scorch. I still ain't got nobody. All right, King Spawn.
Right, just about to start throwing all my other shit out here.
Oh, there's Brian. I like the way Brian is writing this. Spawn is back, and people don't pay attention to that.
And that's and look, and I'm writing my book. You feel me? And my book is almost done. By the way, my novel is almost done. It's almost there, bro. I'm excited. I can't wait for you to read it, my nigga. But but that's the same way I feel. You know what I'm saying? Especially when it comes to writing. You know what I'm saying? Because you have to take your time. Like I've been writing this book for like 3 years. You know what I mean? And I started over. I done changed character name. I done it all, man. Started over like 3 times. And I feel like with the amount of resources that these companies have, man, there should not be any. And I feel this way about any professional outlet, any professional medium, anything you could think of, NBA, anything that has the resources at the palm of their hands. Anybody that has their resources at the palm of their hands, they shouldn't be having no fucking issues. If there is an issue, I'm going to just assume that motherfuckers is being lazy. And that's just my opinion.
It's definitely laziness, because you even can see, because it's 2 effects basically. Well, I almost want to say 3, but it's like different effects. And those effects from books in this day and age, some of the effects that we see usually happen in TV series and movies is starting to actually be shown in books as well now. Prime example of that is John Wick. Y'all can't tell me John Wick ain't nothing but basically Deadpool kills the Marvel universe. Just different. It's literally about a spy / assassin killing other spies and assassins, and that's all. There's no other story, plot, or point about it other than they want him dead because he's killing them. The original first movie was they killed my dog, stole my car, and then somehow that trickled down into I want out again, so I'm gonna kill y'all, and I broke some rules, so now I'm gonna kill all y'all. But ain't that what Deadpool did? And now that's all it is, and people, they're eating it up. Y'all can't tell me that nobody went to go see the last John Wick movie, sat down and was like, this is about to be completely different from the first 2.
Man, look, remember we talked about this John Wick. I told you, out of all of the movies, I feel like he went off the curb. He went off the curb on the second movie, for real. Honestly, we want to be real. You know what I'm saying? Then the shit went a total 360 in the second movie. But the whole point is, I feel like Keanu Reeves knew he kind of made a mistake in the first film because the writing or the actual concept and plot was really not deep for real, but it was impactful. You know what I'm saying? It definitely had people talking like, man, that's real love right there. He killed everybody over his dog, blah blah blah. You know how dumb people can be. But you
It's
know
an
what I'm
action
saying?
movie.
It's a movie.
You know what I'm saying?
You know what
Like
I'm
it's
saying?
no
Yeah.
different than like the Expendables to this at this point.
Mm-hmm.
It's like what in the first Expendables was the plot really that deep? Like, did they really have a
No.
motive? They didn't really get a real big motive until like the second movie when they killed old boy that was a member of their team, the
To be
young kid,
honest,
and they
to
was
be
like, we want
honest,
revenge.
to be honest, I've seen every Expendable movie, and I cannot tell you what any of them are about.
Yeah, because it's an action movie, so you don't really need that big of a plot, that big of a anything to just start, killing motherfuckers and
100.
blowing shit up. You know what I'm saying? Like that's their thing. My thing is John Wick is borderline, damn near almost gonna turn into the Fast and the Furious series. Y'all can't tell me that ain't what happened with Fast and the Furious.
I mean, hey,
That shit went way off.
I'm excited for this Continental show that's about to be on Peacock. Oh my god, that shit is about to be fire. Man, hey, just listen. Just in case you ain't hip to the synopsis and nobody else is, let me just give you the synopsis real fast. The Continental, 1970. My man Sharon, young Sharon. Um, the old head that was, you know what I'm saying, talking to John Wick, what's his name? The
I know who you
one, the
talking
one
about.
that run the Continental. He young cat. You know what I'm saying? And mind you, this is why I like the story. You know what I'm saying? And this is why I like creativity because once a world is created, you can keep building on top of that world unless you don't want it to be built anymore. You feel what I'm saying? Like the world that John Wick is in. Like just imagine if the world was actually like that. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like assassins every fucking corner. You know what I'm saying? That shit is big money, nigga. That shit is like being an Uber driver. You feel me? Like
And
with that, like that's crazy.
that's exactly right if they don't want it because Matrix could have been endless.
Yeah.
They were what in the net? They was just in the net. They was just in a different fucking internet. They were just inside of a program.
That's why I loved Animatrix so much. I feel like they could have stopped it there. They could have just continued Animatrix.
They could have did that. They could have did so much with that. But that's why I hold true to that movie scenario where I say usually the first movie is good. The second movie is usually better than the first one.
Or supposed to be.
It's supposed to be. And then the third one is either good or it just completely fall off.
Yeah.
Terminator, good. Terminator 2, Judgment Day, phenomenal. Third one, what the hell was y'all thinking? Jurassic Park, good. Second one, mid. Third one was like, what was the point of this?
You know what's funny? The second one is actually my favorite one.
A lot of people's is, but that's my point. It's always Lord of the Rings, first one, ass.
Yeah.
Fellowship, ass. Two Towers, amazing. Return of the King, mid. It's like it's
hey, people gonna be mad as fuck at you on them comments when you suppose when this shit drop.
Fellowship was terrible, bro.
Hey, I swear to God.
After reading the book of Fellowship and then seeing that on screen, I was like, this is horrible. This is terrible.
Dog. I would swear when Rings of Power came out, man, I had made a post and I told people, I swear to God, Hobbit is way better than the Lord of the Rings saga. I stand on that hill to the day I die. Hobbit was better, dog. It was better. And it looked better. The story was written better. The action was better. It was better.
Season 1, Game of Thrones, amazing. Season 2, mid. Mid to amazing. Season 3, why? Just why? Just why? Come on, now it's the same concept with movies and stuff, and now they're doing it with
I think a lot of people will agree that Game of Thrones start getting deep in like season 5 and 6. You know what I'm saying? That's when that like season 4, 5, and 6. That's when they start pulling our heartstrings and shit. You know what I'm saying? This niggas
Man,
start getting murked.
that's when they just started looking. They started going back and looking at mistakes and was like, we got to correct this. And because we have a TV series, we have time to correct this. Because they were like, you know what? We don't want to do the Smallville effect.
You know what they need to do? Because we've been talking about this in my class. Because most, or not most, a lot of people, especially people that actually care, they keep a guidebook. You know what I'm saying? A book, you know what I'm saying, that will, make sure that you don't have no plot holes. You feel what I'm saying? Now, I don't know if every writer or every creator has one, but motherfuckers need to. And if you plan on having somebody else, you know what I'm saying, start writing a story, like take place right after somebody else, you need to get them, you know what I'm saying, or the company need to create a guidebook just for characters that's owned by the company. You feel me? If you are a character that's not owned by the company, you keep the guidebook. But the fucking company need to have a guidebook, you know what I'm saying? So there ain't all these damn plot holes. Maybe change the
Kevin
character's whole origin and shit.
Kevin Eastman, for anybody that don't know, the creator of the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. Kevin Eastman is the creator of the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. He holds all the rights to the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. They can't be published, printed, or did anything without his permission. Nobody's allowed to write it, draw it, or do nothing with it without his permission, period. And it's the same with movies. No movies of Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles has ever been made without his say so and his give a go, because he completely owns 100% of it. And the reason Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles left Image and every other company and they settled where they are now with IDW and Boom
Man,
is because those are the
IDW be
only
doing
companies.
greatness, bro.
Those are the only companies that have never tried to come to him and be like, well, we want your stuff. Because in his mind, and he said it, and he's openly said that, same as Mike Mignola, with creator of Hellboy, is that once you take what I created, I feel like you're going to take it and you're going to treat it like trash, because nobody's going to love it as much as you love it and care about it as much as you do.
It's your baby, right?
You know
Nobody gonna love it.
It's yours. No, ain't nobody going to do it right. It's not going to be done any justice.
Fact.
So I think a lot of people need to have that Mignola Eastman mindset, which I'm glad McFarlane now has that mindset with Spawn, because he didn't, and that's why he lost Venom. You know what I'm saying? He didn't, but he does now.
Right.
But I think a lot of people need to have that. They'll never had that with Batman or like Superman, for example, because we know those creators are, deceased and stuff like that, and the company is gonna just hold, on to those characters and can do whatever they want with them. But that's part of the issue. There's not a lot of creative minds, because like when you think about it, we get way more Batman to the point to where you can damn near say we get too much Batman.
Yeah.
And this is coming from me as a Batman fan. We hardly get any Green Lanterns right now. And you know who don't get no love? Shazam. Shazam don't get no kind of love. Yeah, we had a Black Adam until they decided to go White Adam.
Yeah, right.
And I don't even.
And they created a whole. Cool. And they created a whole set of new gods too.
A whole nother new set of gods for that one.
Yep. For that one.
So it's like, so what happened to the other ones that was on New Genesis? What happened to those guys? Allfather and Orion and all of them. What happened to Meek and what happened to them? Man, so where's Apocalypse at? Where's Apocalypse at? With
they still around.
Darkseid is a new god. So who are you guys?
Man, listen, they got the pantheons in Marvel and DC has upsetted me for a long time, because not only do we never see them, and this has been going on for years. We barely ever see the pantheons, and then once we do finally see them, it's always some bullshit ass reason.
Here's the thing: we don't see them. The reason that we don't see them, and this is what I believe. I'm not saying this is a fact. I believe we don't see them because they don't want to have that Marvel effect, that same Marvel effect when we see the ones in Marvel. All right, we see the ones in Marvel, and it's like, ooh, there's the Beyonder. He damn near can't be beat, and then they find a way to buff some damn body and beat him, and now we sitting here like, this is some bullshit. This is terrible. Because again, what the Avengers was just living in a damn celestial, wasn't they? Wasn't they based inside of one?
Yeah, yeah.
Like, come on, man, come on, dog. That's where we was falling at. It's like, come on, dog. This is terrible. Like, I like
get
when
it,
we see
man.
him, but we see him. I like when we see him in like little cameos. Example, the one we was just talking about when the power went out with the Unmaker. We saw Living
Yeah.
Tribunal for a second. It was like, oh, Living Tribunal showed up to have to stop him and put him inside the core of Earth. That was fine. That was more than enough. That would not have went the same way if it's like, oh, he got back out. Now here come Living Tribunal again. So now it's like our minds is like, if he's there, then there shouldn't even be an issue. We had tribunals here. Like, what the fuck is the problem? That's where I'll be at every time I see Beyonder, bro. That's literally where I'll be at. Like, bro, Beyonder's here. Why is there an issue? I love Dr. Doom. You know this. Dr. Doom is my second favorite Marvel character after Venom. But every time he show up, I get the Lex complex. It's like, okay, Dr. Doom here. Who powers he about to steal?
They definitely know he about to take somebody power. He about to take somebody power.
What's his grand plan to acquire somebody's almighty powers?
Right, he trying to take somebody's shit.
Who he about to target now? Tell me that don't be your mindset when Doom show up.
So
that was literally was my mindset all the way. The only twist they was like, yeah, we got masters of the multiverse now. I was like, oh, that's a nice little twist, but kind of still sitting somewhere around the same thing.
Yeah, it seems like there's just no end game, which I can understand from a business standpoint, but I can't understand from an artistic standpoint, because even like we was talking about earlier, and we about to get back to this, even Oda knows, you know what I'm saying, One Piece has to end. You feel what I'm saying? And this is coming from a writer and creator. Yeah, right. Like even he take hiatuses. You know what I mean? And
like
that goes back. Yeah, this goes back to what we was talking about before the show started, man. Before we get out of here, man, we gonna have to talk about some of the anime, bro. That's dropped, bro. I said to my, why has Bleach and Baki been so goddamn raw? My brother said Baki has been amazing. Bleach has been okay. And I feel why he said that. Tell the people why you feel like Bleach has been okay.
Because we already read it in the manga. A lot of us already read Thousand Year Blood War in the manga, and now we're only watching it just to see the fights be animated. Nobody's interested in the story no more because we already read the story in the manga. So now we want to see the animation and see those fights. And because I feel like the studios know that, or the creators know that, they went and got good animators. They was like, "Ooh, people really love that entire Chainsaw Man series because of the animation. Grab him, and we're gonna put some good animation on this to draw everybody in." And through that, that's pretty much the only reason anybody's even watching Bleach. No post on no social media platform is talking about the story of Bleach, like the same way we talking about the story of One Piece. Nobody. Nobody's posting about that. Everybody's just posting versus battles from the new characters in the 1,000 Year Blood War and the captains and Ichigo and all this, that, and other. They're posting about the characters and they're posting about the fights. That's it. Nobody said, hey, what about this story or that or this, that, and other? And the reason being is because we already read it. We've already seen it. We read it.
So do you
way
think
back when? So now because it's old and it's like, yeah, cool. But and it probably is like that for the people that haven't read it. So, for them, it's like, it's mind blowing. It's like, oh, it's fresh, it's new. But for those that have, it's like, okay.
Yeah, I feel
this animation is amazing. There's a lot of people, which I do know some of them dudes that didn't like Chainsaw Man. They sitting around like, man, this animation sucks. This is the same shit I seen on Chainsaw Man. That's really it. There's no other reason.
So do you think that they? So do you think that they doing the same thing that the I forgot the name of the studio that's doing Boruto, but do you think that they doing the same thing with Boruto? Like that
Absolutely.
studio over there, think that they just focus more on the fights and stuff
They
than the actual manga.
Boruto was not getting steam. Boruto had to genuinely look back at everything that they had already did and was like, we got to do what Oda did, and we got to do a time skip because this isn't working. Because I think they looked at their mistakes early on and was like, you know what, we still got Naruto and Sasuke too invested into the show to the point to where
Yeah,
people are only watching it because they're still here. They're not watching it
yeah,
because of this next generation or these new characters. They're still watching it because Sasuke and Naruto are still here, and they're super overpowered now because they're adults. So
yeah.
we
That's
gotta
why they
either
had to
kill
seal my
them,
nigga Naruto the fuck up.
we gotta kill them, seal them. We gotta take the eyes away. We gotta nerf the hell out of both of them and take them completely the hell out. And it took them too long to do that. And I think that's where they
Yeah,
looked at their mistake at. And then after they saw that, they was like, well, we got to do a time skip. And with
and
that
then it
time
didn't
skip,
really
now we're
help.
going to be in this.
It didn't really help anything either. You know what I'm saying? Having all that filler. You know what I'm saying? In Boruto and then
Because I
Naruto
don't
not
think they
doing
knew what
shit but
direction they
sitting in
wanted
this
to go
damn
with that. They
right,
did
and
filler because
Naruto
they didn't
just
know what
sitting in his
direction they
damn
wanted to go.
office, just under paperwork. Like, what the
They
fuck is
didn't
we
know.
doing?
They didn't know where they wanted to go with it, man. That's really
Like,
what I believe it was. It was like they didn't know which direction they wanted to take with it, and by not knowing what direction they wanted to take with it, I feel like they put it out there because I knew they know Naruto has a big following and a big cult.
yeah,
The problem was they put that out there. Which here's my thing: if Boruto would have came out like say this year example, I think Boruto would have did better. I think with
oh yeah,
like
definitely. If it would have came out this year
coming
instead of back
out
then,
brand new. Like, first
yeah,
episode, here's Boruto. I think would
I
have did
agree.
better. Boruto dropped during a time where One Punch Man was getting hype. Attack on Titan had its steam. My
You
Hero
hitting a lot of
Academia was
points right
having its
now, brother.
themes. You
You
know what
hitting
I'm
a lot of
saying?
points.
It was too many other animes that was having their steam. Demon Slayer had drops. It
Right,
was too
it was
many
too
other
much.
animes and stuff going on that had their steam and had
Attack on
way more
Titan,
hype behind them, yeah, than Boruto.
right?
And
Too much.
people didn't care anymore after I'm gonna say about maybe 15 episodes in the Boruto. People was like, I don't care anymore. Attack on Titan coming out this week.
And then yeah, there was new shows, more new shows like Seven Deadly Sins. Netflix was
All
coming
that
out with fucking animes.
not Boruto didn't do his job to grab the attention of the people that it was supposed to grab the attention of, which includes the Naruto fans.
Yeah, and the fans didn't do it no help either. Nigga, they was shitting on that shit since the announcement.
You know what I'm saying? You see what I'm saying? Like
They ain't help.
they didn't do it any justice. When I say justice, I mean they should have did what Dragon Ball Super did. When Dragon Ball Super came back, it grabbed us. Dragon Ball
It
Super
did.
grabbed us. It
It
grabbed us
did.
off the nostalgia. They knew the nostalgia was gonna get us, and then they gave us all this extra stuff. It was like, oh, cool, they gods now.
That little hiatus, man.
Yeah. And I get, and I get why people was like, well, why they doing the Resurrection F thing to start the series off? Is because this is a continuation from that movie.
Yeah.
So we gotta start there for the people that didn't see the movie. We gotta start here and then continue. Boruto didn't do that. Boruto was just like, yeah, we gonna go off the strength of the Naruto, the popularity of it and the nostalgia of it. But damn it, this is basically still Naruto. This ain't even about his son. This is still Naruto.
Yeah, it was still about Naruto. Everything
It's
was
boring.
still about Naruto.
And it's boring.
Yeah, an ungrateful ass kid, you know what I'm saying, with a powerful ass daddy. Like that's all I
and it's
saw
boring.
in the first arc. Yeah, the first arc
Yeah.
definitely was boring. It's better now. Like I love it now. Like I love it.
Yeah.
A lot of people don't, you know what I'm saying, but I love it.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? The characters.
That's what I tell people. When you get a clean slate and you give it fresh and new, it's like, okay, this is a lot better now.
And that's what that time skip kind of provided. You know what I'm saying?
It did.
It kind of
It did. But
provided that. Yeah.
I feel like after it took too long to do a time skip though.
Yeah.
That's what I felt like with that. See, my thing is like a lot of people can argue that it took a long time with One Piece too, but my thing with One Piece was Oda had already knew he was going to do a time skip.
Mm-hmm.
That was already revealed in the manga and everything. He already knew he was going to do that. Boruto was like they kind of planned on it, but they kind of just fell on that because they made too many mistakes early on.
Mm.
That's where that was at. It was like, okay, I don't like that. Let's do a time skip so we can start fresh, which was fine.
Well,
They fixed it.
So, what do you think? To leave the fans, man, and the followers with something, man. What do you have to say to the fellow anime fans, anime watchers, and how do you think that they can help with us getting better storyboards for these animes and better writing for these animes? Since they are a factor in why we are getting a lot of content cut out of these animes because they want to see the fights and the visuals. They part of the reason why like shit like God of High School got canceled. You know what I'm saying? Because they, you know,
the internet is a very powerful place in this time period.
Definitely,
right? And you can see that with the studio with the original Sonic the Hedgehog. I'll never forget that the internet literally bullied that studio into fixing Sonic's design. I
thought the design was okay. I thought it was fine. Like you wanted to be live action.
Yeah, they bullied the hell out the studio and was like, fix this shit. People took to Twitter and tens of thousands like, fix this shit.
Right.
And the studio was
and they changed that shit in like a month. They
went back to the drawing board, went back, and a month later was like, here go the second trailer of Sonic, and dude was a completely different design. They bullied the hell out of him.
Facts, for real.
So I honestly think that same approach could work with the anime stuff, bro. I honestly believe that, and I also think a lot of the issue come with the anime community fighting amongst themselves.
Yeah, they definitely
everybody's fighting amongst themselves, and it's the same concept that everybody's getting with the console wars too with video games. Everybody's too busy fighting amongst themselves, and companies is sitting back like this, like,
look, y'all all about to buy this shit anyway, right? Y'all
look at these idiots. Y'all gonna buy this shit, watch this shit, support it. Look at these idiots. Come here, look at them. And that's what they 2K is borderline a scam video game at this point.
They could update that shit every year if they wanted, but they want to keep selling motherfuckers the same game. They could update the roster and shit every year.
They gonna charge y'all and do that shit.
And that's really the same thing for any video game, especially if you getting it on new gen anyway. You know what I'm saying? Like,
look at it. The console wars, they like Xbox. Like, what? Tomorrow we're gonna release this new Series S. Everybody gonna go get that new Series S. Console wars gonna still be in full effect for what? When what? Our games is still shitty. People can't even. The games is shitty to the point to where people can't even talk about the story. Look at what the game of the year is about to be. Baldur's Gate.
Man, yeah,
because it ain't no baddest end game shit. There ain't no season pass, ain't no battle pass.
Microtransactions.
No microtransactions. You unlock everything by simply playing the game. Come on now. Everything that old school games had, they was like, yeah, we're gonna put that in this game, and now look at it. Now everybody like, oh, well, this is the greatest game of all time. This is the greatest game that we've had in like 50 years and all this, that, and the other. And it's like, really?
I mean,
same approach that they can take with anime.
I do agree to an extent, you know, because even though there has been some video games that I love personally, one of my favorite video games of today doesn't have barely any talking in it, and that's Little Nightmares. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's one of my favorite video games, and it barely has no story, you know, it just has like a cryptic vibe to it. You feel me? It's just creepy. You know what I'm saying? There really ain't no story to it. Now, if you talk about shit like A Plague Tale, that was a great story. I felt like I was watching a fucking movie. You feel me? When I was playing that shit. Now, every game isn't like that. So that's why I say I feel you to an extent, because if you compare the great games to the shitty games is winning. There's been too many shitty games that came out that went that didn't make no profit off that budget. Heavily
Anime,
in the past like
movies,
4
books.
years.
I feel like anything, video games, any form of media that we into as nerds, I feel like it can be as perfect as we can possibly want it or to possibly get it to, when it at least tries to be fresh.
Right.
Okay? Dragon Ball Superhero tried to be fresh, so that's why some people was like, I love it. Me, personally, I was like, to me, this was just another, we got 2 new good guy androids.
I thought the dub version was better, by the way, y'all. It made me laugh. So when I watched it in sub, it wasn't that good.
But that's how I felt about it. It was like, oh, they gave us 2 new androids that are good guys, and they re-gave us Cell,
and they gave us the Red Army again, the Red Ribbon Army.
Yeah, wasn't it? Was like,
yeah, I ain't care about that.
I didn't care about it. You know,
I'm trying to see some shit. You know what I'm saying? If y'all gonna give us shit like Super, you know what I'm saying? Give us a whole 200 episodes of Super. You feel me? Show us Jiren again. Show me
Jiren.
Hero
so much. That's why I like Hero so much. Because I was like, at this point, at this point, the what if stuff is better than the non-canon what if stuff is better than what y'all the other stuff that y'all giving me, because this is new over here. We got Super Saiyan Heroes. 3. We got Super Saiyan 3 Goku Black in this.
Man, Hero fighting Broly, man. Super Saiyan Broly.
4 Broly in this. You know, that's where I was. I was like, I got Super Saiyan 4 Broly over here. I don't give a fuck about revamped Cell. Man. I don't give a damn about Giant Cell.
Super Cell.
Come on, man. Y'all gave me Super Cell. I don't care about Super Cell.
Hey, like, for real. Man. People that not hip, if you not hip to Dragon Ball Heroes, bro, it's on YouTube. That's the dopest Dragon Ball content in a long time. Go watch it. That shit dope as fuck.
That's what I'm saying. Like, and I know people be like, "Oh, well, I'm shitting on. They shit on it. It's not canon. It's not canon. It's not canon." But it's more entertaining.
So what? Right. So what?
It's more entertaining.
That shit had me on the edge of my seat.
You don't go to any of the comic books. You don't go to comic books and all that and be like, "Well, this book ain't." But was you entertained by it a little more? You was more entertained by that mini series that's not canon. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? So I was like, cool.
When I say it's not canon, I normally say that shit in disappointment, because normally the not canon shit is better written. You know what I'm saying? I normally say it in disappointment. I'll be like, but it wasn't canon.
Not no Star Wars fan. Not no Star Wars fan. Look at none of the Star Wars Legend stuff and be like, this shit not canon. It's ass.
That shit fire. Fire.
That's not a thing. I ain't found nobody yet that didn't say they didn't like the Darth Bane trilogy. I ain't found a person yet. I ain't met one yet. Come on now. Nobody cares about that.
Right.
Manga need to do that as well. If you gonna do all of this non-canon stuff, that shit needs to be completely separate from what y'all main universe is and got going on, and y'all need to be able to let people pick which one they want to see and which one they want to watch. Because you notice slice of life animes and those otaku animes and all that, they don't be having filler. They just straight run through. Yeah. Some of the best animes to me that I like are the ones where they be like isekais and stuff like that. They wake up in other worlds and universes and stuff like that.
They normally get right to the action normally.
Solo leveling, for example, stuff like that. I get it that they recycle it, but they don't recycle it within the series. They do a whole other series. You know what I'm saying? We got reincarnated as a slime, then somebody took that and ran with it. It was like, reincarnated as a sword.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying?
It's a whole different story, though.
Shoes, but it's a whole completely different thing.
Whole different story.
I'm not interested in that. That's what manga and anime need to stick to that. Oh, this is Naruto, Boruto, Next Generation is about his son. This over there, woo, 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 woo. And Naruto is still involved in it. Versus over here, this is some time skip Boruto that Naruto ain't involved, and it's all about them. Mm-hmm. You see what I'm saying? That would have worked out better. And I feel like My Hero needs to do that. Think
Yeah,
about if
my hero.
My Hero could have did that. Like, ooh, here we go, the next generation of heroes. They young, they kids, class A, boo, 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 boo. But over here, we got this non-canon full run about all the old heroes, about All Might and his prime and all that, and let people decide that, because a lot of people gonna be like, this is more entertaining because that's what people want.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, because they already giving us, you know what I'm saying? They giving us America, you know what I'm saying? America in the house, you know what I'm saying? With the American heroes, we about to get them. But I honestly don't care about that.
At
I,
all.
I, re- I don't care about seeing we have
At
been here
all.
for 6 years, nigga. 6 have not seen fucking the American fucking Hero Academy, nigga, this whole time. Why the fuck do I care about that shit now? I
Do
don't
I
at all.
do I care about them to a point to where I'm about to be invested in it to really see if they are on the same level as any of the other strong motherfuckers I done already seen?
I
No.
mean, I'm gonna watch it, but
Yeah, I can
I
watch
don't
it.
give a fuck about that shit. Right?
Like,
That's not what we care about right now. We care about
it,
my man
if they put
Deku.
it
You know what I'm saying?
if they put it
And
out, I
one and
promise
for
you,
all.
if they put it out, it was like, let's see the original Class A. Let's see when All Might and all of them was in school in the academy when they was coming up and then it was in their prime. I bet you the ratings will go back up. I bet you everybody will watch it. No, but everybody want to see All Might and All for One fight for the first time. Everybody want to see how he got his bruise that messed him up. Everybody want to see it.
Yeah,
We
right.
don't
We
want to see a
still trying to see
flashback of
that
it.
shit.
We want to see it. We
Right,
don't
we
want the
want to
flashback.
see
We
it.
want to see it. We don't want y'all to talk about it. We don't want a flashback of it. We want to see it.
I ain't gonna lie though. The end of this last season made me cry. I ain't even gonna cap, bro. Eh, I ain't gonna spoil it. I ain't gonna spoil it for nobody. You know what I'm
I'm not
saying?
gonna spoil it. I didn't cry like him because he know how I feel about My Hero.
I
It's
wasn't balling like a baby, but I did get a little swift drip. I had to do this. I had to do a quick one of these, man. Oh shit! Hold on. Let me wipe my eye real fast.
you know who did, and this is coming from me, y'all. Y'all know how I am. This coming from me. I snuck and watched this anime, and I watched the whole thing. I snuck and watched it, which was JoJo's Bizarre Adventure. I snuck and watched it because visually, I didn't like how it looked. I was like, this shit looks terrible. I don't like the animation. I don't like the art style. This shit looks horrible. So
That shit
and I
gold
snuck and
status.
watched it because everybody was like, this shit good, is good, is good, is good, is good. I'm like, this shit trash. It looked trash. It gotta be trash. And there was a lot of trash in it. But what it did get right was the storytelling of all of it. It did the storytelling perfect. That Attack on Titan did the storytelling perfect. Boruto needs to take some tips from some of that storytelling and do that. Because
The
I notice
beauty.
I'm not even going to use One Piece as an example of that because One Piece be fucking up on storytelling sometimes too. One
Oh
Piece,
yeah,
I think, focus more on world building and build up
yeah,
than they
yeah,
actually do anything else. JoJo Bizarre Adventure was like, this is the arc, this is the story, this is the concept, this is the plot, this is the setting, these are the characters.
yeah. And did that every
Watch how
arc.
they all watch how they all entangle within this web and how that all intertwines with each other. Boom, we got this perfect. This was a hit.
I
This is
think
what
the
it was.
beauty.
That's done. Next arc.
I think that also goes to what you said about them not doing no flashbacks about Naruto or whatever, not doing no flashbacks. The thing about JoJo's Bizarre Adventure, they we got flashbacks during the show, but they started the show off in the beginning with Joseph Joestar. You feel what I'm saying? Like
Mm-hmm.
or his dad or whatever the fuck. They actually started in the beginning. They didn't give us a flashback. Every arc started in that era. You know what I'm saying? Old
Every
ass Joe Star. You know what I'm saying? Young Joe.
every
You know, it
arc,
kept going up.
every arc in JoJo Bizarre Adventure felt fresh. It
Yep.
felt fresh. It felt like you knew when you sat down to watch it or read it, you knew you was about to get something that you didn't get in the last arc. And that was the same thing with Attack on Titan.
Mm-hmm.
It was the same
I
thing
mean,
with
hey,
Attack
no,
on Titan.
Attack on Titan. I got something different in every season. Every
Every
season, I got
season.
something different.
And
Like
that's why we
the
kept
first
coming back
season,
to it.
yeah, like the first season, I got more like a survival horror vibe the first season. Then like the second season, you get them in, you know what I'm saying, training to be cadets, you know what I'm saying, then going on their first mission. You get that thrill, that suspense, them seeing they niggas dying, you know what I'm saying, and actually, you know what I'm saying, getting ate up. And then you start seeing him turn into a Titan, and you see it all come into fruition. Then the shit start unraveling, and you start seeing that shit is one of the greatest written mangas, animes I've ever witnessed in my life, still, and
Absolutely,
I
absolutely.
hold that shit to the day I die. That's
Use
some of the
that as
greatest
a
shit.
use that, and you notice, and like I said, this goes back to the internet being a powerful thing. We didn't have that infighting with Attack on Titan. There was no infighting.
Nope, nope, nope. Because
There was
it's
no
perfect.
there was no infighting with JoJo. Nope.
Nope.
Now we just infighting. It was like, oh well, One Piece is better than Boruto. Boruto is better than One Piece, and because everybody's biased, they're not looking at the flaws that both shows had.
Right, both of them got flaws. And I didn't. We just talked about all these. We didn't even talk about Baki. I'm gonna say this one thing about Baki, and we getting out of here, nigga.
Go
Baki
watch it.
has been pure poetry,
Go watch it.
pure fire.
Go watch it.
And I told
If you
y'all
haven't
from
seen
the
it,
art, yeah, from
amazing.
the art, and I'm a big Baki fan. From Baki the Grappler to Baki Hama to what I'm saying. Hey, all of them,
Go watch it.
every single series. Go watch that shit, bro. But
Go
you
fall
doing
in love
yourself
with
a
it.
disservice. You're doing yourself a disservice if you have not watched it from the beginning, or at least watched the all of the things that my man Baki has went through since the age of 13 years old, bro. Like
It's better than it's
beautiful.
better than Record of Ragnarok.
Definitely. Oh, definitely.
Go watch
And
it.
I had this debate with a few people. Some people try to say King and Ashura was better than Baki. I mean, I get the fighting can be a little bit more thrilling. You know what I'm saying? But when it
I
comes
was one of those
to
people.
story though, when it
I
comes to
was one of
story
those
though,
people. I was one of those people. But now they about even. Kangen ain't that far
that's
ahead.
fair. That's fair
Kangen ain't
because
that far ahead.
one thing that's
Kangen definitely behind now, but it ain't that far behind.
Kangen storytelling hasn't captured me. The only thing that's captured me about Kangen is the action, and that action be fucking A1.
Are you
Like
reading
that
it?
should be. No,
Are you reading
I did. I
Kangen?
stopped reading. I stopped reading after like 7.
Yeah, reading Kangen does it more justice. Because I don't really care for the anime, per se, because I don't like the art style with that whole like
Yeah,
3D-ish water crap that they got going on over there. But
I kind of think that
reading it,
that's what the thing I like about Kangen and Baki though. Baki got that kind of abstract type of art to it, and I kind of
yeah,
feel the same about Kangen, but
they got different art and animation styles to it. Now, my Baki probably has my current favorite animation style and art current.
that should be
Um,
looking so dope.
but like story wise, Kangen Ashura, yeah, Kangen Ashura story. Currently reading it as a person that is still reading it to this day is good.
Yeah,
Is good. Is
I
it
gotta
better than
catch up
Baki?
on it.
Not anymore. It's not. With after what I just got from Baki is definitely ahead. But if I'm gonna say Baki is a 9, Kangen Ashura is an 8. It's not that far.
If y'all are want more Baki content, if anybody have finished watching Baki and Father versus Son, you can go start reading Baki Rayhan or how you pronounce that shit, Rahan or Rayhan.
Raham, I think.
Yeah, something like that. But either way, it's a new manga. It's not new. It's been out for a few years now, actually. But either way, you can always catch on up and not miss out on. You know what I'm saying? They gonna bring Baki back. Baki coming back, and you know what I'm saying? They're coming back. But that's the beauty of anime, man. I love it. But I appreciate y'all, man, for being here today, man. We ran out of time. Appreciate my brother Spawn Prince for being here, dropping jewels, man, and giving us the knowledge
Always.
and perspective, man. It's always appreciated. But remember to love yourself, love your family. Don't stress about the shit you can't control. And we're gonna do this again, man. Next episode, we're gonna be doing hauls, and we're gonna be more consistent and frequent, y'all. Appreciate y'all, man. Have a good night. All right, bro.
All right, bro.